Hi everybody, it's Paula Connor here with Elevate Me Hub, and I'm back again with another video. This is Tuesday, the 13th of February, 2024. And yesterday I shared a video. I'm going to title this one, We Are Entering the Forgiveness Phase. As I mentioned yesterday in the blind spot video, and how we are going to be witnessing a lot more unawareness in others, perhaps, because this is, as I mentioned, this is as the light continues to increase on the planet through solar flares, geostorms. This is the evolution of our consciousness, what's been told or what has been known as the Great Awakening. And so yesterday I shared a video about the blind spot and the rise of the seeing or witnessing of unawareness. And upon awakening today, seeing what I was being presented with, I realized that we are coming into a really critical point in our evolution and in the awakening of our human consciousness. Not only on an individual level, but also on a collective level. So now it's really all about forgiveness. Because as I mentioned yesterday, everyone, you have the right to be just as you are. You are perfect as you are. Now, because you are now seeing what has been hidden with all this light coming on the planet, it's all being brought to the surface to be seen, as many, many wonderful teachers around the planet are saying that in density, before we lift into the next octave of reality or consciousness, we must see what has been hidden in the shadows, what we have been hiding behind our backs, what have been in our pockets, what we are hiding and don't want to share because either we are ashamed or embarrassed, or we were deceitful, making money from it, profiting from it. You're going to see things that are not pretty at all, not pretty. And so yesterday I talked about the blind spot and how it is really I made notes. I'm just looking at my notes. How it is really mortifying when you finally see, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I didn't see, I can't believe. You're mortified by your own behavior, toxic behavior, or something you didn't see, something you didn't recognize. You can be ashamed. You can be, oh my God, I feel awful. I want to cry. So now it is so important for forgiveness of the self. As I have beautifully been taught by the guides through Paul Selig, as I mentioned in my yesterday video, I've been a student of the guides for so long, and they have helped me so much. Not only fall in love with myself, not only accept myself, warts and all, aspects of myself I'm not proud of, but that's consciousness. When you can see parts of yourself, you're like, oh my God, I don't want to be like that. That's awful. That is using your consciousness and your own free will to make a new choice, to make a change. And so I find the biggest challenge is forgiving the self, because you can't forgive another if you don't forgive yourself. If you can't forgive yourself for your own trespasses or own misgivings or own behaviors, you can't forgive another. Same deal if you can't love yourself, all of it, every part, the light and the shadow. You can't love it all. You can't love another. You can't. It's only the parts that you like or approve of. So, and the reason why we have such a hard time of forgiveness of the self is because we've been taught, we've been conditioned and programmed, if you will, to believe the idea that you must pay for what you did, that punishment and suffering is well earned and well deserved. And that is simply not true. It's not true. So I would, if you will, practice this every day in the coming days. And this I learned from the guides. I forgive myself for not being who I think I should be. Lay down in crocodile pose on the yoga mat and give yourself 10 minutes every morning of just breathing. The hand is on the forehead. You're relaxing on your tummy, just laying on your tummy. It's a 3-part breath. You'll notice that you're breathing from the lower abdomen the lower thoracic, and then the upper chest or clavicle area up here. You breathe up, in for 5, and then do an exhale for 10. In for 5, exhale for 10. And give yourself 10 minutes every morning of a practice. I forgive myself for not being who I think I should be. Because everything out there is telling us that we should be other than what we are, you know? Like I mentioned this morning in yoga class, when have you ever seen a commercial on TV that said, you don't need any of our products, don't need to buy any of these, you are perfect just as you are? Never, right? If you have this, you'll be more pretty. If you carry this purse, you'll be accepted. You'll be socially, blah, 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 whatever. I forgive myself for not being who I think I should be. And then you can get to the point where you can, perhaps a family member is mad at you for choices you made. Talked about that yesterday, right? They didn't know. They didn't know. They got seduced. They got lost in the darkness. They got caught up in an echo chamber of deception and lies and couldn't hear, couldn't discern the truth on their own, or that's just the way they think things should be. And then you can say, perhaps you can forgive me for not being who you think I should be. Practice that. Pick someone that hurt you greatly. Practice that every day. I forgive you. It is not condoning their behavior. It does not make what they chose to do right. You're seeing beyond the personality structure, the physical being that they are, the physical aspect, the small frame, the small self, the ego self that is cut off from the heart. You're forgiving that aspect because perhaps they were lost in the darkness or got seduced by a deception. And then once you can forgive one that has harmed you, then you can move on to some of the heavier stuff. I forgive them. I forgive you, whoever, for not being who I think you should be. Perhaps that's big pharma, putting profit and greed over the well-being of the human family, the human species. Because it's, you know, we find it a little bit easier to forgive, you know, little issues. You know, we can get over them. But when there is great deception and betrayal and downright evil, we got to dig deep. You can't do it from the personality structure. You must use the heart, feel everything from the heart, because beyond what you see, there is a soul inside of that being that is divine love. It was the personality that made those choices. And so when you begin to see this ugliness, you'll want to use this to help you move forward. And as I mentioned, they're lost in the darkness. They were seduced by the darkness, by the evil, if you will. And I will share that evil is the intent to do harm. And from what I've learned, evil does not smash down the door and overtake. It is allowed to enter through seduction and deception. Because as Kerry K had shared in a video a little while ago, check her out. She's got some great videos online. But she shared something really potent, and that was that the truth stands alone. It's lies that need an army, a gang, but the truth stands alone. And I thought that was really profound. So remember in the blind spot, and remember what Jesus said. He said, this is not a religious thing, but there is a saying, forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. That's the blind spot. They didn't see, their consciousness didn't see it. And as this light arises, this darkness comes to be witnessed, we're going to start seeing stuff that's pretty freaking ugly, pretty awful. And remember, don't damn it, because putting what you damn damns you back. What you put in darkness calls you to it. It tethers you to it. And when you deny the divine in another, you deny it in yourself. And as the guides have been sharing for well over a decade, humanity really only has one problem, one challenge, and that's the denial of the divine. Because if we all knew we were one, if we all knew we were brothers and sisters, even though maybe I don't like the choices you're making, maybe I don't want to have dinner with you and you're not my cup of tea, maybe I'm not your cup of tea, you still have the right to live your life. Just don't do any harm. You have to have that mutual agreement. And as I mentioned, when you forgive yourself, forgive another, you're not condoning the behavior. You're simply witnessing it through the eyes of the Christ, which is the love, the heart itself, the divine self. Your lens of the eyes is witnessing, consciousness is witnessing a choice that was made in lower octave, in lower choice, in darkness, and it is being lifted. Because if we damn each other and condemn each other and continue to think that we need to just kill the ones that we don't agree with, we're going to stay in shadow and we will never blossom fully into our awareness. And so I just wanted to share that today, because the first thing I saw earlier today was some truths about large legalized drug companies, call them that, and the testing they've been doing on little beings, on babies, newborns, which is completely illegal, and a complete disrespect of life. And all this stuff is going to start coming out now. And I've been aware of this, like a lot of you have been aware of this for a long time. Family thinks you're crazy. People think you're crazy because you're just, what the hell are you talking about? But that's why we're here. We're here to help lift this world out of these shadows, because we can do better. We can do better. And on the last note, it was talked earlier on a number of videos online. Actually, Amanda Lorrence, check her out. It's Lorence. She shared a video about gravity and how gravity is affecting the brain. I believe it was her. I think Kerry K's talked about this. A bunch of people have talked about this, and how the light, this plasma, these geostorms, the solar flares are affecting our brain. And one of the things, we're absent-minded, being absent-minded. And boy, oh boy, is that ever true. Because this morning I woke up, had my normal ginger little drink, little sound healing, brushed my teeth, washed my face, thought twice, got to put deodorant on because I'm going to teach a yoga class. And I get over there and I completely forgot. I forgot my deodorant. I forgot my chargers. I even ended the class early, for heaven's sake. The class is an hour and I ended it early. Absent-minded. This is what's happening with the brain. So be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Tell yourself that you're amazing and you're doing the best you can and that you love you. And forgive yourself for not being who you think you should be. That's all I wanted to say today. God bless you. I will be back with a couple of videos shortly with respect to yoga, specific yoga positions to help you that have been trying out my classes. And I just want to have a little bit online for you if you are interested in mobilizing the body and strengthening the spine, because strong spine, strong mind. God bless you. Have a super duper day and we'll talk soon. Cheers. Bye.